So like I love TV. I love entertainment. And I felt like when I
Okay.
moved to the Caribbean, I felt like Samurai Jack, like, ah, cool, like throwing back in the past. Because I live at my grandparents' house in the Caribbean. So I feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere. We're used to bags to an extent. But like it's the Caribbean, so it's hot. It's crazy. And like the only thing I can find to entertain myself with is books. Because there's
Baby boys, baby girls, what's going on? It's your boy SKIP.88 here from BlerdOver, here to bring you again another awesome interview. And we got a very special, talented brother below the screen right here. We're going to let him introduce himself the way he want to be introduced. And we're going to take it away. Good sir, it's all on you. Let the good people know who you are.
awesome. Hey, kings and queens, I'm Warren Hughes. I'm the CEO of Great Gale LLC and the mangaka for Afrofuturism manga BoldsAGA, a story empowering our young kings and queens with the majesty of African culture.
Hey, there it is. That's the end of the interview right there. That's all we need. So we need to go even further with that. That was a quick interview. So was it fun? Did you have fun?
Yes,
Was it great? Man, bro, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. And thank you for doing what you're doing in this community. We need more people like you. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
So my first question I'm going to ask you, which everybody likes me to ask this, so I don't want to fail them. So, sir, what makes you a blerd?
What makes me a blerd is all of my life just loving everything nerd and geek culture and learning. All of those combined, Star Wars, manga, reading, everything, man. I feel all of that culminates, and video games, can't forget that. All of that culminates into what makes me a blerd and why I love being one.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And to follow up with the next question, how do you feel and what do you think about the word and term blerd?
I feel it's an amazing term because once again, I feel just like what Dr. Eric Thomas says, once you allow black people into space, they just kill it. I mean, black and nerd to make blerd, I mean, that's just great branding, great marketing, unforgettable name, and it's short. I love it.
Yeah, it is short because it's not like these anime with these long names that I can't pronounce right now, so we're not going to even do that. So, man, that's awesome. That's like to hear people takes on that because, you know, some people feel as though that the word doesn't fit them because they want to be labeled or stereotyped as, you know, as a certain label, if that makes sense. Which I can understand that because, you know, it's 2021. Don't nobody want to have labels on them. But in something like this, you need something to identify yourself and to find more people who are like me and you, who have the same skin color.
Exactly.
Oh man, this is awesome. So we're off to a great start. And so, you know, and we're gonna do this way. So, you know, every superhero movie, every villain, superhero, anime has an origin story, correct?
Yes.
So I want to ask you this. Tell us about the origin story of you and your brand.
Wow. Okay. So the way how Great Gale started, I feel it goes all the way back to my youth when I was around 10, 11. See, I went to the Caribbean and I thought it was going to be a vacation, but actually my parents forgot to tell me I moved to the Caribbean. So from that point onwards, my entire life flipped upside down. I stepped in my grandparents' house. There was an earthquake that shifted the entire satellite off its axis. So all like 980 channels that were accessible, lost them. Only channels were available was PBS, maybe Fox 5 once in a while. So like I love TV. I love entertainment. And I felt like when I moved to the Caribbean, I felt like Samurai Jack, like, ah, cool, like throwing back in the past. Because I live at my grandparents' house in the Caribbean. So I feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere. We're used to bags to an extent. But like it's the Caribbean, so it's hot. It's crazy. And like the only thing I can find to entertain myself with is books. Because there's no TV shows to watch. There's nothing else to do. All the games are from the 70s. So I just had to read. And that's where I believe my love of reading came from. And then I used to read encyclopedias for fun. I used to read dictionaries for fun. That's why I love words and the power of words. And then from that point onwards, the only thing I remember having access to also was like 4Kids TV. So that's how my love of anime came into. So like I watched One Piece, and then it's like he lives in I consider the Caribbean. It's hot. It's islands. You know what I mean? He got a straw hat. My grandmother got a straw hat. He got them sandals, I got them sandals. He got the shorts. I feel like we understand each other very well. But then when I
I
went to
feel it.
school, it's like, I don't know if anyone's ever been to Caribbean school, but it's like school in America times 100. I don't know why, but they just have no chill and they expect you to go very hard. So my first year in the Caribbean, in the 6th grade, was cumulative. So I had to learn 5 years worth of knowledge in like 10 months. And I was able to do that and surpass. So I feel like that's how the brand began. This whole mentality of using what you have, whatever you have available to you, like the power of rope that Damon John mentions, and using all of that to your advantage, using your disadvantages, flipping them to master them and make them your advantages. This happened again when I was in college and I was doing graphic design. I was failing it, and then it was so bad my professor gave me a chance to do a logo design. We lost power downstairs. I had to do the design and then wait for the power to come back on. We had less time, and then I failed again. But then I became computer graphics club president. All of these things come into the mentality of I was able to get to where I am. And the brand Great Gale really stands for the power of the second wind, which is why it's called Great Gale. That ability when you're tired, when there's nothing else for you to do, when you're exhausted, finding that energy within, finding that ethos and tapping into it. And that's how you continually press on to move forward. That's what I put into these hats, like Emancipation with the flower hoodie on it. This shirt, which literally says like World Changers on it. This afrofuturism manga, it all flows in the same vein of second wind. When you're exhausted, when you feel you can't go any further, finding the energy to win in the midst of adversity, especially if you're black. You know that life hits you harder. Being black is living life on the hardest of hard. But this is a game of life, and you have to find a way to win.
So, do we need to keep going further with this interview? Because I say this has been enough right now so far. I don't know. I think this should be in, but no, man. And that's powerful, man. That's powerful. So thank you for that, for the origin story. And I'm gonna have to get with you after this and see how can I get a hoodie like that, because I like that. That's
Thank
true.
you.
I like that.
Have to rep the culture, man.
Hey, and did you make it, or
yes.
or was there already something?
Oh, I didn't
really?
explain this to you. I'm sorry. The whole also behind the Great Gale is owning the lake mentality, because a lot of people have this thing of, you know, if you teach them.
Hold on, everybody. Give me. We gonna work through it. Hold on. Oh boy, isn't it good to be back on IG? Isn't it just great? Oh man, what's going on right now, people? If you're not seeing what's going on right now, I'll tell you about play by play. Instagram being Instagram again, and man, it was going so well. It was going so well. Hold on, let's bring them back in. Instagram being Instagram, y'all. What can you say? What can you say?
Awesome.
There we go. Now we back.
Yes. See, this is a perfect example of what life does. Sends you challenges and tests in the middle of your moment, in the middle of what you're going through. But what do you do?
Exactly.
You find a way to win. What I was about to say is own the lake mentality. That's before IG stopped me. Own the lake.
Exactly.
Basically, you can teach a person to fish, and that helps for a bit. But if you find a way to own the lake and own the resources completely, that's how you're able to help your community, your family, all of that. I made this hoodie because I'm a graphic designer. I've been doing it for about 10 years. And that's how I was able to make this hat. I was able to make this book. So most of the things that you actually see, I've actually made them. Like even notebooks with like world changers on it, you know, walking into your purpose. Even drawing books like I'm a purpose chaser. The entire brand is all about empowering our people, but knowing how to create what it is you're sharing with them.
Hey, you know what's awesome? I'm glad you're on, because it's a young brother here. He's in high school. He's a senior in high school, and he's looking for people, somebody like you, to help him, because he wanna tone and hone his craft. So if he's on here, I really hope he can reach out to you. If he's not, I'll send you his information, and y'all can talk and chop it up, because he's very talented, and I gotta post some of his stuff on here, because he actually makes action figures out of paper.
Wow.
It's really amazing, and it actually moves like an action figure. Like, bro, you gotta break all this down. Like, how do you move it? He showed me how to move it, and I said we're gonna try my best, to reach out there and to help you find somebody to tone and hone your craft, because we need more African Americans creators to put more representation in the manga, anime, hero world. And like what you doing, it's the first. Oh, there you go. He's right here too. He said, "I'm on here." That's him right, John. Yeah. So my brother, yeah, make sure you get in contact with this brother right here. So you heard what he's doing, right? So please get in contact with him. I told you I'm gonna look out for you. This is what we about. It's about UNITY unity. So this is what it's all about. So man, so I bet, like, so tell me, how did you come about? You saying basically you from the Caribbean, correct?
Yes.
So, growing up on the Caribbean island, you didn't see the superheroes like Batman, Superman, Goku. So, what were the superheroes from the Caribbean that we see over here that you saw over there?
Well, the way I really remember it is when I was younger in the Caribbean in Antigua, it was really just watching 4Kids. I mean, other people had access to Cartoon Network and things like that. So when I'd visit my family and things like that, I'd see like the Narutos, all of that. But the reality is, even though I lived in the Caribbean, most of my life has been in New York. So I can look at from both spectrums of it. When I was here and when I was younger, it was like Justice League, Spider-Man, X-Men, all of those things growing up. And then when I was in the Caribbean, that's when I think manga was really 2003 onwards. That's when manga and anime started to like really kick into drive with you see more DragonballZs, One Pieces, Naruto's, Bleach, all of that.
Okay, awesome. So now you showed them multiple times. So I want to know, how did you get into making your own comics? Like, what gave you that passion? What gave you that drive?
So what gave me the drive to make my own manga is that it's